Good afternoon, YouTube family. Today is Friday, December 27th, 2024. It's your man, Big D, and I'm back with another one. I would like to thank all of the loyal subscribers and all you good people that continue to go over to my son's channel, Illuminated D, and consuming the content and showing support. He and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Well, one of our subscribers, Bunkster69, wanted me to give my thoughts on the pros and cons of having children. And I'm going to give this perspective from a man's point of view, because when it applies to family, legacy, the value of that, the perspective that a woman have is going to be inherently different than the perspective from how a man views the topic. So with that being said, having children, it can be a glorious thing. I mean, you create carbon copies of yourself, and you hope that the same unconditional love that you have for your children, you hope that they will have for you. So unconditional love is a pro, in my opinion. Witnessing and seeing your children grow and develop, watching your children go from being infants to toddlers to adolescents to teenagers and going to adulthood. And if your children are prosperous and they are doing positive things, there's nothing more fulfilling than that. I think having children, if you have children up under the right circumstances, the sense of purpose and meaning is another benefit and another pro. Now, when I say it, up under the right circumstances, and all the pros that I just gave you, they are, in my mindset, in the ideal conditions, meaning there is no, oops, I'm pregnant. I'm going to be selfish and I'm going to put a trap baby on him. Or, hey, I done heard guys sabotage, self-inflicting wounds, sabotaging the rubber, putting holes in the condom, taking the condom off during sex. So I've heard guys doing that craziness too. So when I say ideal circumstances, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you perhaps get married, your wife finances are in place if you all are going to do the 50-50 thing. Your husband finances are in place, again, if you all are going to do the 50-50 thing. Or if you're a man that has the value where your wife can stay at home, where she can be a stay-home mom, that is ideal. But in today's times, that is not always the case. So ensuring that you have children up under the ideal circumstances in the right environment, that is very important. Because more times than not, when children are brought into a situation where they wasn't planned, it was an alleged accident. I must have mistaken one of my pills, or whatever excuses is used, and you wind up pregnant. Well, guess what? Those are not going to be ideal circumstances, and that is going to come with a lot of problems. So I think the pros is family connection. Legacy is very important for men, especially when you're talking about male children, your boys. Your boys are going to be the heirs to the father's legacy. So that is very important to a man. And I will have to say top tier Even in the animal kingdom, male, that's the purpose of a man, to procreate, to continue his existence through his children. So I tell you, having a boy, in particular a boy for a man, is very important. Not saying that a father won't be happy if he had a daughter, but it's not the same as having a little boy, because boys carry on the family name. That's just the way it is, because when that daughter decides to marry one day, she is going to take on her husband's last name, and she cannot continue the lifeline and the legacy. That's just not the way it was designed. So now let's talk about some of the cons. You're going to have loss of freedom, because you're not going to be able to move like you want to when you have when you have children. You're not going to be able to go out and have a fancy-free adult life, if you want to look at it from that perspective. So they're definitely going to take a lot of your time. Then there's the financial burden. Listen, children are very, very expensive, and particularly the children that are not playing. The oops, oh, I made a mistake. Listen, when that happens, more times than not, the man is going to be the one that's going to feel the brunt of it, especially if he's not married to that woman. So now he's going to experience child support. He's going to experience providing medical care, dental care for these children. So when you start talking about a con, oh, that is a hell of a con when you start looking at it from a financial perspective, especially if the baby was a oops. I don't know how this happened. I made a mistake. Because a lot of times that's what women say, because women control access to sex, men control access to marriage. Women control access to having children, because it's up to a woman if she wants to decide to keep a baby or not, or have a baby or not. Totally up to a woman. A man don't have, a man plays a part. And I always tell men, you have to protect yourself, because you can't believe that she on the pill, or she taking her pills, like her birth control pills, like she should, because that's not always the case. And men have to start protecting themselves and not listening and believing when women say, oh, yeah, I don't want no babies. Oh, I watched my mama have, a bunch of kids, and I don't want that for me. Next thing you know, she becomes a baby mama. So you have to be wary of that. Sleep deprivation. Let me tell you, you gonna miss a lot of sleep, a bunch of sleep. And particularly, if you a baby dad and you ain't married to that woman, guess what? The financial woes that you gonna endure, or you gonna lose a lot of sleep because of that. You gonna have a lot of sleepless nights wondering how in the hell you gonna pay your bills, because when you look at family court, men don't fare well. It's just look at the statistics. I'm not trying to say, male versus female, anything like that. But when you look at the vital statistics of what goes on in family court, men don't fare well. Then you have to worry about impact on relationships. If you're a single parent, I remember coming up when I used to hear all the time, oh, I don't want to date a man with kids. And like I said, that's if you're a baby daddy and you and your baby mama not married or nothing like that. Y'all just had a baby and y'all trying to do the co-parenting thing. Well, you're going to have a lot of women that's going to discard you, because as a man, you have children, even though she got a couple kids. But women nowadays who have kids, they don't want a man to have a kid if they can help it. And I suppose if the man don't have any children, that's just more of his resource he can pour into her children from another man. Another thing I would say that is a con is the stress that you are going to go through, especially if you are just a baby daddy. You have to worry about if if the mother is going to poison the child's mindset against you as a father, if the mother is going to be honest and upfront as to, how things transpire between you and her. So you have that to worry about as well. So when you start talking about procreating, I would tell you this. If you're not married, it's an automatic con. Do not have no children out of wedlock. Nothing good will come of that. You can be married and have children. And I'm not saying marriage is the end all be all, because we have plenty of examples of how your wife can turn into your ex-wife / baby mama. So just because you get married, it's not a shoe-in that you're not going to have complications. If you in a place where you are ready to have children and you see the value in that, and as men, we have to mentally be ready to know that we are ready to have children. Anything short of that, if you don't have your finances in place, you don't have a stability in place, don't have no kids, gentlemen. That is a definite con. If your life is not in order, do not have children. That's just what it is. Get you straight. Because you can't help your children if you can't help yourself. And you have to be particularly careful because, as I said, women don't have an issue putting a trap baby on you. They don't have an issue purposely getting pregnant. For some women, they see the baby as a meal ticket. They, at least till they're 18. And I'm not saying all women, but some think like that. So I hope I was able to answer your question as to the pros and cons of having children. If not, I can, elaborate a little further in a different video, but I think I touched on all the key points. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.